down below, something happens there. You can't run away from stretch marks in pregnancy, but you can handle it. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, you're welcome. I'm Ada-uju. If this is the first time you're seeing my face, today guys, I don't even know why I don't have water here, but we are going to be talking about body changes in pregnancy that nobody tells you about. People don't like talking about these things. People are shy, or people are they feel it's too much information, or they just feel it's something everybody should go through and nobody should complain, or I don't know, people don't just like talking about it. And I'm here to talk about it because I saw some videos, but I didn't really see explicit videos about this. And when they started happening to me, I felt bad, man. I felt bad, but I want to be your big sister, that girl on the internet, letting you know things that will happen by the time you get pregnant. They are not so bad, but there are things that would happen. You know, when you watch this kind of videos, they prepare you for what is coming. Now, the first thing that happens, this one is a very common thing, happens with a lot of people, is you notice that your boobs get a little bigger. Right, your boobs get a little bigger. So for someone like me, I'm not really on the busty side, so my boobs got bigger after my just little, not so much. It wasn't like very massive changes. No, it was just slightly. I got, slightly bigger boobs. Another thing I started noticing was my areola started spreading out more, around the boob. So let's say before, my areola is, just around this region, but by the time I got pregnant, it just spread out, and it kept spreading out, and it became darker. So my areola spread out more on the boobs, it became darker, and it became a little inflated. Somehow I feel using the word inflated makes it look like it was a problem. It just became a little more pronounced, like it pushed out a little bit from the boobs. This is how my mouth is now. Let's say this is how the areola is. So when you get pregnant, it becomes like this. Like it just pumps out a little bit. So my areola became darker, it spread out on the boobs, and it became a little more protruded. Yes, that's the word, protruded. Yeah. So still on the boobs, I noticed that my nipples became more, what's the word? Like became more pronounced. Like it doesn't have to get excited for it to just pop out. It was just there. Like, I'm here, I'm not going anywhere. And I think this happened because, of course, it's preparing the body for breastfeeding, because for you to breastfeed your baby, your nipples have to be out. So before now, my nipples, they're only out, or they're only, study when maybe I'm excited, or I'm cold, or I'm aroused, but now, like with pregnancy, it just became standby. Anytime I'm here, I'm not going anywhere. Another thing I noticed that happened with me in pregnancy is the texture of my boobs changed. I don't know if this is for everybody, but you'll notice that it's like the skin of your boobs is becoming a little thicker. You just notice that the texture is changing a little bit, and by the time you start breastfeeding, you will even notice that the texture of your boobs, the way it was looking pre-pregnancy, is not the way it's looking during pregnancy and post-pregnancy. So another big thing that happened to me during pregnancy is stretch mark. Now, one thing I used to, even till now, I'm still scared of, even now that I've given birth, I don't like stretch marks. Like, I hate stretch marks. So my number one concern when I was getting pregnant was stretch marks. And the saying, when people say you can't run away from stretch marks in pregnancy, yes, you can't run away from stretch marks in pregnancy, but you can handle it. When you properly moisturize your skin, when the stretch marks come, there's a difference compared to when you don't properly moisturize your skin. And trust me, guys, I didn't get stretch mark on my bum till 2 weeks before delivery. That was when the baby turned and face down, and there was so much pressure on the lower part of my stomach, and that was when I got very little stretch marks. And right now they are going off, like they are easing off already. Like, I have to seriously stretch my stomach for me to see the stretch marks. And this is because I properly moisturized my skin. When you properly moisturize your skin during pregnancy, I was using this lotion that had elastin, and you guys know that elastin helps to improve skin elasticity and collagen as well. This St. Ives renewal lotion, I'm going to put a picture here. I also used Palmer's stretch mark lotion as well, and I used a lot of shea butter. Like, I was using this not just morning and night, I was using it morning, night, and every other time during the day. I was literally buttering myself with shea butter, and this helped improve elasticity of my skin. And when the stretch marks even came, they were not as bad as some people that I see. Like, when people finish giving birth, you see their stomach so wrinkled, so like, mine is not like that, because I properly moisturized my skin. Now, during pregnancy, you have to properly moisturize your skin to prevent excessive stretch mark, because when you moisturize your skin, as the skin is stretching, because it's properly moisturized, you won't get so, like I said, I only got stretch marks when the baby turned and there was so much pressure in my lower abdominal region. So from month 1 to the 9th month, there was no stretch mark on my bump. And another thing nobody tells you about is this big black devilish stretch marks that come. This stretch mark come, some people they get it on their stomach, some people get it on their waist, some people get it on their hips. But these stretch marks, they come only with pregnancy, because I don't know what will bring those kind of hideous beings on somebody's body. They are big, they are black, they look like they are even breathing. Trust me. And I think for me, I had just one tiny dot of it the first time, and I had just that little dot, and I just kept moisturizing every day. I was always rubbing shea butter, rubbing my body lotion, and the stretch mark lotion, the one from Palmer's. I just kept rubbing it and rubbing it and rubbing it. I think it was when I got to like 8 months. That was when about 2 more, because I had just 3. And this is what people don't tell you with pregnancy. When you moisturize, you can actually manage how the stretch marks come, because the stretch marks will always come. They will always come, except you are lucky. Some people are very lucky. They don't moisturize, they don't do anything, and they don't get stretch mark. But I don't belong to that category, so I had to always moisturize my skin. Now, something that happened, body changes that happen in pregnancy that nobody tells you about, is your down below. Something happens there. Yeah, something happens there as you progress in pregnancy. I think for me, for the first trimester, there was no change, right? There was no change. But as I progressed in the second trimester, I noticed that it became a little inflated. I don't know how to explain this. Like, it just, like someone blew. If I'm looking at it from this side, look as if it's looking a little bigger. And I asked my husband, I'm like, are you noticing anything here? And he was like, no, nothing. I'm like, I kept asking him, but I knew it wasn't looking normal. It's just like someone just, it just became, if let's say it was on this level before, so it just became, it increased to this level, just slightly, okay? But I read an article where they say the body doesn't prepare for labor on that day of labor or 1 week before labor. It's a 9 months process. So the body starts to expand, body starts to expand. And when you are done birthing the baby, it takes the body about 6 months, to get back to its pre-birth stage. So when I read that article, I just stopped bothering myself. And right now that I've put to bed, I've noticed that it's coming down. It's not like it's so bad, because even he couldn't notice anything, but I noticed that it's coming back to how it was looking before that time. And something also you would notice, you would experience when you are pregnant, is that as you progress towards the 9 months, even when you are not close to your due date, okay, you notice that the inside is opening a little bit, like it's opening. It's not as tight as it used to be when you are being intimate, okay, but it's opening up a little bit, and this is to help labor. So something else nobody talks about being pregnant is that you will get hips. Most people think this thing happens after delivery, but it happened to me during pregnancy. I just noticed, imagine when I was dealing with nausea, morning sickness, vomiting, no appetite, lying down on the ground, your girl was getting hips. And I'm like, is this how it works? Is this how it works? Somebody is vomiting and the remaining part of the food is going to the hips. And right now I'm trying for my hips to come back to what it used to be like. But my cousin said I'm very ungrateful, that people are looking for hips, and childbirth has given me hips, and I'm being ungrateful. Anyways, we'll talk about that one later. Something else that happens to you during pregnancy, and this one is something nobody talks about, is keratosis, what people normally call strawberry legs or strawberry body. You notice that you get lots of these tiny tiny dots that look like rashes. For me, and this one happens when you don't properly scrub your body, because for me, the first trimester, I wasn't really using sponge. I was just using soap, washing my body, because I was very very tired. I just, was just pushing through every day. I noticed as I got to second trimester, I don't know if the body was producing excessive melanin, so I got lots of these tiny tiny bumps on my body. Like, I normally am prone to, I have keratosis naturally, but with pregnancy it became more pronounced. So this meant that I had to scrub, like scrub my body. Like I was getting keratosis on like places all over my body. Like I was getting it on my chest, I was getting it on my back, I was getting it on my arm, I was getting it on my legs, I was getting it on my thighs, I was getting it everywhere. And it would look like I had an invasion of tiny, 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 tiny bumps all over my body. And one simple trick to get rid of that is to make sure you are scrubbing your body. Also, make sure you are moisturizing as much as you can, because trust me, let me speak for myself. I was tired most of my pregnancy. Like I didn't have the highest of energy. So you just try to scrub your body, because because it's more like you're taking dead skin off your body. And if you don't do this, that's why a lot of people's skin turn out really really dry and look dirty during pregnancy. Nobody talks about this. Nobody talks about those tiny tiny bumps. Nobody talks about it looks as if another human being has taken over your skin. Another thing that happens with pregnancy that nobody talks about is acne. Most people tell you that, oh, with pregnancy your skin just pops, you get fairer, you get more beautiful. Nobody has talked about pregnancy acne. Now, me, I didn't get acne, but I know somebody that got really really bad acne. Something that happened to me was whiteheads. I got lots of whiteheads in my T-zone, in my chin, on my cheek. Like sometimes I had to, like, I would scrub my face on Monday, and by Friday it's looking like I've not scrubbed for 3 months. I wasn't really consistent with my skincare routine, but because of those whiteheads, I had to be scrubbing my skin maybe once in a week or once in 2 weeks when I have the strength. Nobody talks about the excessive, whiteheads or blackheads or acne that people get during pregnancy. People just say, oh, your nose turns. And for me, my face was normal. Like I didn't have those, now when they say your nose will be big, no, I didn't have that. What else nobody tells you about when you're pregnant is that your complexion will change. Some people feel, oh, when you get dark all through, or when you are fair all through. For me, I went from being fair to being dark, to being fair, to being dark, to being fair till I gave birth. Okay, so some people talk about, oh, when you're pregnant, is that you get darker or you get fairer. For me, I got fairer, then I got dark, and I got fairer, and I got dark, and I got fairer. Like, and I wasn't doing anything like to make myself look better. I was just basically using my body lotion. And I noticed that when it comes to you being fair or you being dark during pregnancy, you really can't do a lot. You really can't do a lot, because the body is doing its thing, and you just have to go with the flow. So if you are pregnant, or you are pregnant now, or just know that these are changes that might happen. You might get darker, you might get fairer, you might, like, it will change. It's not like it's straight. Some people get it straight. It's either they are dark all through, or they are fair all through. But for me, I went fair to dark to fair to dark, and to eventually being fair till I gave birth. Another body change nobody really talks about when you're pregnant is that you can't hold pee for a long time. Like when you are laughing, you can legit pee on your body. Trust me, there was a day I was laughing and I peed on my body. You can be coughing and you pee on yourself. It's that embarrassing. Like, you can be coughing and next thing you just feel tiny tiny drops of pee. If you don't head to the toilet, you are going to pee on yourself. Okay, another thing that happens with being pregnant is sometimes you tend to have a lot of discharge. Me, I didn't get any smelly discharge, but sometimes I will get this discharge that will be, so much that would wet the pants. It wasn't happening all the time, but it will happen once in a while. Okay, it will happen once in a while. Nobody talks about the discharges you get when you're pregnant. You sometimes, like, these are normal discharges. I don't know, some of them are even transparent. They are not like milky or smelly or anything, but you get discharge that is enough to wet your panties and make you uncomfortable, and you have to change it. If not, you might get an infection that would affect the baby. Okay, so these are slight changes I know I experienced, with being pregnant. I know that nobody really told me about, or nobody talked about them with me. I just had to go through the flow and experience them myself. Okay, some people have talked about, but I experienced them in another dimension. So if you are expecting, if you are currently pregnant, these are some of the things that might happen to you. You look at the boy. I don't know if you look at this camera. This is my baby. This is the baby that made me a mommy. His name is Alexander. Meet your internet uncles and aunties. That's if he's interested to look at you people's faces today. So guys, this is my baby. This is the guy that I experienced all these changes for, and now he's here. He's part of the skincare family. If you guys want skincare videos about my baby's morning routine, evening routine, products I use, just let me know in the comment section, okay? If you enjoyed this video, Alex, what should they do? They should subscribe. He said you should subscribe. I heard it in my brain. Don't ask me how I heard it. I heard it in my brain. Alex said you should subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. And we'll see you in our next video. Bye, guys. He'll always be in the background now. So, yes, we'll see you in our next video. Bye, guys. Bye. Alex, say bye. Bye, guys. Boy. Rain, rain, go away. Come again another day. Little children want to play. Another thing that happens is... Why am I forgetting what I want to say?